ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਦਿਸ ਐਪੀਸੋਡ ਆਫ ਦਾ ਹਰਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਸ਼ੋ। ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਇਸ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਫਾਈਲ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਮੁਲਾਕਾਤ ਕਰਾਵਾਂਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਮਸ਼ਹੂਰ ਦੋ ਆਰਟਿਸਟ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਮਹਿਮਾਨ ਨੇ ਰਸ਼ੀਆ ਤੋਂ। ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਇਹ ਵੈਂਕੂਵਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਰਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਸਕਲਪਟਰਸ ਨੇ, ਆਰਟਿਸਟ ਹਨ। ਅਤੇ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਮੇਰਾ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਹੀ ਇਹ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਇੱਕ ਕਲਚਰਲ ਮੋਜ਼ੇਕ ਹੈ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਪਤਾ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ। ਮਾਸਕੋ ਦੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਹੀ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਬਿਲਡਿੰਗਸ ਨੇ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਵਾਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮਹਿਮਾਨ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਐਂਸੈਸਟਰੀ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਇੱਕ ਬੜੀ ਆਰਟਿਸਟਿਕ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਅੱਜ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਅਨਿਊਤਾ ਅਤੇ ਮਿਖੇਲ ਦਾ। ਵੈਲਕਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਆਓ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜੋ ਦੇਣ ਹੈ ਸਕਲਪਟਰ ਦੀ ਸਾਈਡ ਤੋਂ ਵਜੋਂ ਅਤੇ ਐਜ਼ ਐਨ ਆਰਟਿਸਟ ਉਹ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਕੀ ਕੁਝ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਦ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ।
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll start with you, Anyuta. Tell us a little bit about yourself. You're from Russia. Which place are you from Russia? When did you come to Canada and how did you get interested in this work?
I was born in Vladivostok. It's in the far east of Russia, so it's actually across the ocean from here, near Japan and China.
Right.
And I studied art in Moscow though, because I wanted to study sculpture.
Right.
That was the only place where I could do that. And I was interested in arts and sculpture since I was a kid, so I can't even tell when it happened because I've been always doing that.
Right.
And I came to Vancouver like 9 years ago.
Okay.
After I graduated from the Moscow University of Art and Design. And since then, here I have my studio.
So you've been pursuing that passion. It's a passion for you because
it's
you're a dreamer, you
me.
say.
Absolutely.
You dream about things and then you bring them into objects like this, what we have in front of us.
That's true.
Wonderful. We'll learn more about you after learning about Mikhail. So Mikhail, tell us about yourself. How did you get involved into this particular form of art?
I was born in mid-Russia, yes, in the city Voronezh. And my father was a monumental painter and sculptor. My mom was a musician, so I think it was quite natural to me to become an artist. Yes, I remember myself drawing something or sculpting something since I was very little. Yes.
So your father, when we talk about Moscow, or Russia, we find a lot of sculptures there. The buildings over there have lots of artistic work on those. So your father was also involved in such kind of work over there?
That's right, yes. He was working for, he was doing monumental commissions for government.
Okay.
Yes.
So in your home only you saw this and you grew up seeing all this. So was that the thing which motivated you or was it something else?
That's right, yes. I think so because I grew up in my father's studio.
Okay.
It was a large studio full of books and art pieces, big canvases and sculptures. Yes, that was my
And when did you come to Canada?
Yeah, I came to Canada about 9 years ago too, from Moscow. Last 12 years I spent in Moscow.
Right.
Yes.
And now in Vancouver, you live in Vancouver. What are you doing over here now?
So I live in Vancouver, I work in Vancouver. I rent studio, big studio, and I'm an art teacher.
Right.
And also I'm working as a sculptor.
So both of you work together?
No, we have different studios.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the same passion?
Yeah, with the same university.
Okay.
We graduated at the same
art
university.
school.
And we went to the same building.
Okay.
Studios in the same
Great. When you come from another country, many times you are not able to pursue the same field of what you have studied in your own country. So tell us, when you came over here, what kind of challenges you went through and how did you not let that fire finish from you that you wanted to continue with that passion what you had in Russia?
Well, actually that's one of the reasons I left Russia, because there I felt at some point of time I cannot be myself.
Okay.
I have to follow like certain path to be able to survive, and that path wasn't in art, and I didn't like it. So I thought I need a place where I can let myself bloom as an artist. So when I came here, it was quite a cultural shock because so many things are different.
Right.
But the very positive and very encouraging thing was that we had a little studio, very tiny little studio, and it was part of the East Side Culture Crawl.
Okay.
So when people once a year, several days, artists open their studios for everybody and people come. And so people came and they were looking at my art and they were seeing stuff that I brought from Moscow, which was like how I was taught to work.
Right.
Yeah? Like specific style. Yeah. And then I had few things of my own, and people were looking around and say, "This is nice, but where are you?"
Okay.
And it was shocking because in Russia nobody was looking for me as a personality with her own vision. Yeah,
right.
you have to make sculpture that looks like this, and if it doesn't look like this is kind of weird. And here people wanted me.
Right.
Even if I'm weird, but they wanted to see what I can bring into the world.
Okay.
So that was actually very encouraging, and I also taught a lot to survive in the beginning, but at some point of time I realized that I'm an artist, less a teacher, and if I stop being scared and start being an artist right here, right now,
right.
it will never come. I will always be scared to make the step. Yeah.
Okay.
So when I realized that a few years ago, I just focused completely on making art, and I've been happy since then.
So the encouragement and motivation what you got from the people
from the
further
community,
made you go into the field for which you had a passion.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
How about you, Mikhail? What was your experience when you landed over here?
I think it's quite similar because in Russia, so it's enough just become too professional, and the industry of commissions they kind of takes care of you. But when you come into Canada, there is nothing like that. So everything depends on you, your soft marketing skills, and so also yes, you have to be very passionate about what you do.
Right.
Yes, and it's very important to me. It's quite similar, as I said, because in Russia nobody interested in your individual style.
Okay.
And it took me a few years to realize that I'm actually just professional. Yes, in Canada, I mean.
Right.
But also I'm an art teacher, so I was on this side. It helped me a lot to build my own school because I was professional, but at the same time I was asking myself the same, what is my style?
Right.
And in Canada, people are really interested in you,
okay,
in your individual style. Yes, as I said.
Great, and you also got that same kind of encouragement, which motivated you to do what you do now.
So as you see, this little bronze represents my previous style. It's kind of like what I brought from Moscow. The scales, it's more like Renaissance style,
right,
classical sculpting. And in Canada, I discovered, within myself, something like I'm very interested in geometrical forms, very generalized, and I think the First Nations art also influenced me. So it's like a combination of classical skills and something like what I found here.
But you're focused on sculptors only, small and big sculptors.
Small and big sizes.
That's wonderful. Let's go for a short break. We'll be back and learn more about your work and how this passion drives you to do what you do. We'll talk about this after this short break. So ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਹੀ ਮਹਿਮਾਨ ਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਹੀ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਆਫ ਮਾਸਕੋ ਤੋਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਡਿਗਰੀ ਲਈ ਅਤੇ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ 9 ਕੁ ਸਾਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਏ। Where there is a will, there is a way ਕਿਹਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਮਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਮੰਨਾ ਸੀ, ਇਸੀ ਕਰਕੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਹੀ ਪੈਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਪਰਸਿਊ ਕੀਤਾ, ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਹੌਸਲਾ ਅਫਜ਼ਾਈ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਿਸ ਤੋਂ ਕਿ ਮੋਟੀਵੇਟ ਹੋਏ। ਅਤੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਮਿਖੇਲ ਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਛੋਟੇ ਅਤੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਸਕਲਪਚਰਸ ਬਣਾਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਅਤੇ ਅਨਿਯੁਕਤਾ ਜੋ ਹਨ ਇਹ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾਤਰ ਆਰਟ ਵਰਕ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਪੋਰਸਲਿਨ ਦਾ, ਵਾਟਰ ਕਲਰਸ ਅਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਆਰਟ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸੰਬੰਧਿਤ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਣਾਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ। ਇਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਆਓ ਹੋਰ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਣੇ ਇਸ ਛੋਟੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ।
They have always been there for me. From getting my dream car to celebrating life's special moments. Always bringing us joy. And now my loved ones can make them a part of their life story. Family is what you make, and they are a part of mine. Basan Motors.
Once again, welcome back to the program. मेरा साथ दे रहे ने अनियुक्ता ਅਤੇ ਨਾਲ ਮਿਖੇਲ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਮਹਿਮਾਨ ਨੇ। ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਇਹ ਵੈਂਕੂਵਰ 'ਚ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਲੇਕਿਨ ਰਸ਼ੀਆ ਤੋਂ ਇਹ ਬਿਲੋਂਗ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਅਤੇ ਇਹ ਦੋਨੋਂ ਹੀ ਇੱਕ ਆਰਟਿਸਟ ਹਨ। ਆਓ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਹੋਰ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਣੇ। So before the break, Anyuta, as you were telling that this passion, what we see, you have brought these few things, but on your website you have many other things which people can watch. You're a dreamer, you write on your website that you dream, visualize, and then you bring those things into life. So what kind of art do you do? Is it just painting or sculptures? What all do you do?
I call myself multimedia artist because I never was followed by the medium. I was followed by my dreams.
Right.
And sometimes I see something and I see, oh, that's sculpture, it will be in ceramics. Some image I have in my mind, oh, that's a painting because it has lots of colors.
Right.
Sometimes I see a piece and I can see that any medium I know won't be suitable.
Right.
So then I have to think, okay, what new medium can I learn or should I learn to realize this piece? That's how it happens now that I make sculptures in so many mediums, from bronze, stone, paper mache, paper pulp, porcelain, like ceramics, because each image I have, it kind of dictates their own material.
Right.
So that's how, like, you can see on my website, there are paintings in like acrylic paintings, watercolor, like different like mixed media, and
right.
sculptures, all sorts of sculptures. And what I do now, I paint on sculptures a lot too.
Okay.
Combining like painting and sculpture in one.
So painting and sculptures, it's a different kind of art what you pursue. So when you talk about, where do you get your drive from? Like you see the things and then you just bring them into existence, or you, what drives you? That's what the question is, because you have such a varied interest, because it's not focused on one particular thing, porcelain, watercolors, paintings, whatnot. So what drives you?
I think how it happens, it's a subconscious process. It's never like I see something and I come and make it.
Right.
I see something, I don't even maybe notice I saw it, and then it sinks into my subconscious, and then it comes out as some creature, and this creature says like, oh, make me, and they cannot say no. I'm kind of captured by this image.
Okay.
So then I just see what medium would suit it better, and then I create it. And sometimes I can see the inspirations or the drive. Sometimes I cannot. Sometimes people come to the studio and they tell me what they see, and I'm like, that's correct. That sounds right, but I didn't even realize that, because when I do, I don't think. It's more like, comes from your soul. And you're like a tool, instrument to bring it from this world of dreams into the reality. But sometimes I have no idea.
Right. So Anyuta, as she has pointed out, it goes into her subconscious, and then she visualizes, she dreams, and then brings it into reality. How about you? Do you also dream? Because when we talk about sculpting, it's basically things what we see, and that only we can sculpt. What drives you to do what you do?
I guess movement.
Okay.
Yes, movement of animals, movement of human body. So like a muscles play, I think like a certain energy, which actually spans body, as I said, while there's movement. I think something like that. Yes, this one always was encouraging me since I was very little. If I look at my sketches when I was a kid, like 10, 12, there are mostly animals and horses already. Yes, and all of them they move.
Right.
And human.
So just from small sculptures like this in front of us, like this horse.
Yeah.
What is the biggest thing what you have sculpted so far?
I think it's about a year ago I went to Cyprus Island, Greek island, and I made a sculpture composition in limestone, two-figure composition. It's installed now in the park area at Anyuta. Yes, I think it's about 3.5 meters.
Okay.
And my diploma work too, it's actually bigger. Yes, it's a horse on the column with the boy. It's about 4 meters high. Yes.
Okay. And you teach also? You're an art teacher?
Yes.
So anybody who's interested in sculpting or art can come to you and learn from you?
Yes, I have many students.
Okay.
Interested in figurative education.
Right.
Yeah.
How about you, Anyuta? You also teach?
Not really.
Okay.
I sometimes invited to give a workshop on masterclass.
Right.
But I don't teach on a permanent basis anymore. I'm completely focused now on like realizing the dreams.
Right.
And the more I work, the more comes. So I don't really have much time for.
What do you find amongst the youngsters? How much inner strength they have to pursue this career, if they want to pursue it as a career? Because in this commercialized world today, everybody is running after more and more dollars. But in art, whether it is any kind of art or an artist, generally there is a struggle in all the fields, because here people's thinking is different. So how do you think what kind of students are you finding further? Are they really interested into this? They come with a passion, or is just to, somebody's asking them to do this? What do you see among the students?
I think there are 2 different or 3 different categories of people.
Right.
Some people, I would say, they just interested, more like retired people. Yes, they're just looking for a way how to spend time efficiently.
Right.
Yes. Another category is young professionals. They're already working as an artist. They work in the film industry or working as a CG artists, like VFX artists, and they just come in to improve their portfolios, improve their skills, to build actually them more like efficient professionals.
Right.
So it always helps them to boost their portfolios and get better jobs, because classical skills, even if it's almost disappeared from the world,
right,
it's still very important to have it, and people appreciate it. Yes, employers, they love it.
Right.
Sure. Yes, and another, it's potential students. They're teenagers. They're looking for, again, the way to build portfolio and to get into ambitious school like New York, because my students, they study in Chicago, New York, Los Angeles. They're getting easily accepted in 3 schools sometimes, and they just thinking, okay, shall I go to Paris, shall I go to London, or shall I go to New York? So they make choice. So yeah, they study well. Yes, all of them motivated, but different ways.
Great. Yes. And finally, Anyuta, tell us what would be your message to our youngsters and our viewers today who want to pursue this field, and what are your future plans?
The future plans to grow as a person and as an artist, and to share what life wants me to share with people. Right. Because I find that art, I just realized at some point of time that art is not something for myself. It's my way to communicate with other human beings and share something we all share. And so I would tell that all the young people that if you're really passionate about art, be ready for quite a while to believe in yourself so badly that you can withstand all the pressure sometimes from the society, because it's hard. But if you believe in yourself, you believe in your mission, just don't listen to anybody.
And go for it.
And go for it. And sometimes, like say, for a long time I couldn't feel any signs from the society. I was making stuff and you apply to many things, many competitions, and you don't have any answer, and you can get discouraged. But you shouldn't, because at some point of time that will work. Like this piece I brought here, it's actually a new National Canadian Legend Award. So I won a design challenge, and I made this award initiated by the Canadian College of Performing Arts.
Wonderful.
And it was just granted to David Foster in June. So I can see now this messages come back from the society to me that now they recognize it. But for a long time you
have to struggle, but your belief in yourself is what motivates you to further do what you do. It is a pleasure talking to both of you. Thank you, and best wishes for your future endeavors. Thanks for being my guest today.
Thank you so much.